Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel and welcome back to the 1985 playoffs in season ticket baseball. The American League Championship Series is once again on center stage. We are at Tiger Stadium in Detroit, Michigan for a gigantic Game 5 in this series between the California Angels and the Detroit Tigers. California came up with a huge performance on Friday night to take a 3-2 victory and tie this series at 2 games apiece. So tonight's Game 5 will determine which team will have a chance to close it out in Game 6 tomorrow night back at Anaheim Stadium. Fans are filing in. They are electric here at Tiger Stadium for this one. So let's jump right into the action, as the crowd is going to be loud tonight. Starting pitcher for the Detroit Tigers today is Dan Petrie. 15-13 with a 3.36 ERA, 238 2/3 innings pitched, 109 strikeouts, 81 walks, and 24 home runs in 85. He is in charge of getting the series back to Anaheim in Detroit's favor. And here's the Angels lineup trying to get this series home with California with a chance to close it out. Leading off, Bobby Grich is at second base, Gary Pettis is in center field, Brian Downing is in left field. Reggie Jackson is in right field. Rupert Jones is the designated hitter. Doug DeCinces is at third base. Juan Beniquez is at first base. Bob Boone is catching. And Dick Schofield is the shortstop. That's the line of Petrie. We'll have to hold in check for this one. Leading off for the Angels tonight is Bobby Grich. 242 average, 13 home runs, 53 RBIs in 85. As Troy Sawyer is first to join us here at Tiger Stadium. Slow day at work, so I'm catching a ball game with Phoenix. Well, welcome in. You're just in time for a critical Game 5 to take center stage in this ALCS. In this critical Game 5, we are using black, white, and orange dice as the Tigers are the home team. Game 6 of this series is on Monday. The winner will have a chance to close out the losing team. The winner will have a chance to close out the loser. As Petrie looks into Parrish, we now have the important question to answer of which team will have a 3-2 lead in this series heading into tomorrow night's Game 6. As only the dice know for sure, and in order to find out what the dice know, we have to go to the first pitch. So Petrie, take it away. He will take it away with a 4-11, and against a righty, Grich will lead off with a walk, as Petrie will lose control of a slider for ball 4, and the Angels have their leadoff man on base. We are underway here at Tiger Stadium. Infield will go to double play depth. Gary Pettis is now the batter. 257 average, 1 home run, 32 RBIs in 85. Angels are going to use a hit and run here. They want to try to scratch across some runs early. Petrie will get the sign from Parrish. He will set. Here's the kick, and here comes the pitch. That is a 221 against a switch left. 221 is going to be a walk, but that'll be 2 strikes on the batter. So at that point, so now the hit and run is going to be called off. Pettis will swing normally, and here's the pitch. This time it's a 3-18, and Pettis gets frozen by the high heat for strike 3. That is out number 1. As the hit and run goes miserably for the Angels. 1 out in the inning, Brian Downing, now the batter. 263 average, 20 home runs, 85 RBIs in 85. Downing has got good power. He will swing away. Petrie will get the sign from Parrish. He will set. Here's the kick, and here comes the pitch. That is a 179, and a 179 is going to be a wild pitch as Petrie will uncork a wild one. Grich will go to second. That'll also be ball 1 once Digital Diamond gets caught up. The wild pitch part is a house rule I use, not anything Digital Diamond does. And with ball 1, we will pitch again. Into a 630, and a 630 is going to get popped up on the infield to shortstop. Getting under that one for the Tigers is going to be Doug Baker. He will make the catch, calling everybody off. 2 outs in the inning. Some bum nobody's ever heard of now stepping into the batter's box. Some guy named Reggie. Apparently he's supposed to be pretty good, especially this time of year. Reggie Jackson is the batter. 252 average, 27 home runs, 85 RBIs in 85. Grich edging off of second. Tiger Stadium is loud, hoping Petrie can get it done. Petrie will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 369. And a 369 is going to be a swing and a miss as Jackson tries to do too much with a changeup. He'll swing through it. That will retire the side. A walk and a wild pitch, but the Angels get nothing out of it. Score is now California 0, Detroit coming to bat. Stadium size. Phew! Jackson is always a threat at the plate. Starting pitcher for the California Angels today is their number 2 starter, Ron Romanick. 14-9 with a 4.11 ERA. 195 innings pitched, 64 strikeouts, 62 walks, 29 home runs, and 85. The Tigers trying to send this series back to California, 3-2 Tigers. Let's take a chance to meet them. Leading off in center field is Chet Lemon. Lance Parrish is catching. Kirk Gibson is in right field. Lou Whitaker is at second base. Darrell Evans is at first base. Johnny Grubb is the designated hitter. Larry Herndon is in left field. Tom Brookins is at third base. And Doug Baker is the shortstop. And that's the lineup in charge of getting this series to Anaheim, with the Tigers leading 3-2. Going to make a quick check on a timer here. I am running laundry, but this is actually about my chili timer, so I will be right back so I can deal with that real quick. Just needed to flip the crock pot to keep warm. We're all good here. And I will see you, Troy, and anybody else who might be lurking and watching in the top of the second. As Romanick looking in at Boone. He knows this is a gigantic Game 5. Romanick will get the sign from Boone. He will set. Here's the kick, and here comes the pitch. That is a 659. That'll turn into a 669 and be a ground ball over to first base. Grabbing that is going to be Beniquez. He will take his time, throw that over to Romanick, coming over to cover. 1 out in the inning. One out, and Lance Parrish is now the batter. 273 average, 28 home runs, 98 RBI, and 85. He has got a lot of power. Romanick knows he's got to be careful. A mistake could be headed to Mars. Romanick will get the sign from Boone. He will set. Here's the kick, and here's the pitch. That is a 571. That'll be Downing into left field, and that'll be a nice, easy fly ball. Downing we'll maybe get into a jog for that one, but he will make the catch. 2 outs in the inning. Kirk Gibson, now the batter. 287 average, 29 home runs, 97 RBIs, and 85. Romanick looking in at Boone for the sign. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is a 636. That'll turn into a 646 and be a ground ball over to second. Grabbing that for the Angels is going to be Grich. He will take his time, throw that over to first, and that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Tigers here in the bottom of the first. No score at Tiger Stadium after 1. The Montreal Expos are waiting for the winner of this series in the 1985 World Series. Just going to check the hand since apparently my Undaunted video froze at some point. Leading off for the Angels, we've got the middle of their order. Here's the designated hitter, Rupert Jones. 231 average, 21 home runs, 67 RBIs in 85. Petrie will look in at Parrish for the sign. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is a 282 against a lefty 282. Uh-oh. Jones is into one. That is deep to right field. Jones with a power of a 9. Does he give the Angels the lead with one swing of the bat? Once somebody finds what's left of that baseball, somebody's going to have to go look in the upper deck for that remnants of that baseball somewhere, because that's going to land with a boom. That ball is hit high. That ball is hit deep to right field. Back for that one is going to be Gibson. He is back to the track, back to the wall, and that ball is gone. Home run, Rupert Jones. The Angels strike first. 1-0 California. Stadium groans. Ugh. Doug DeCinces, now the batter. 244 average, 20 home runs, 78 RBIs in 85. Petrie has got to shake that one off. He will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 348. And a 348 is going to be a fly ball into right field. This one will stay in the park. Gibson back for this one as well. He will make the catch, and that is out number 1. Petrie threw Jones a fruit salad, threw him a grapefruit, and Jones just turned that into fruit salad and got it out of here. Juan Beniquez, now the batter for the Angels. 304 average, 8 home runs, 42 RBIs in 85. Angels now lead 1-0. Petrie gets the sign from Parrish. He will set, and here comes the pitch. That is a 514, and that'll be a ground ball right back to Petrie. He will take his time with that, throw it over to Evans at first. 2 outs in the inning. Bob Boone, now the batter for the Angels. 248 average, 5 home runs, 55 RBIs in 85. Petrie will look in at Parrish for the sign once again. He will set. Here's the kick, and here comes the pitch. That is a 193, and a 193 is going to be a fly ball into left field. Herndon coming in for that one. He'll make the catch on the run, and that will retire the side. But the Angels strike first. 1 run on 1 hit, a solo blast by Rupert Jones. California holding a 1-0 lead as we get set for the bottom of the second. Okay. Romanek finishes up his warm-up tosses as he's looking at the middle of the Tigers' order. Here's Lou Whitaker. 279 average, 21 home runs, 73 RBIs in 85. Angels lead 1-0 in the bottom of the second. Series is tied at 2. Winner can win the series tomorrow night. Romanek will get the sign from Boone. Tiger Stadium is loud. Romanek will set, and he will pitch. That is a 162, and a 162 is going to be a leadoff walk for Whitaker, as Romanek will lose control of a slider for ball 4. Whitaker will go to first. Angels will go to double play depth as Darrell Evans is now the batter. 248 average, 40 home runs, 94 RBIs in 85. Romanek will get the sign from Boone. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 638. That'll turn into a 648. And that'll be a ground ball over to second. Grabbing that one for the Angels is going to be Gritch. He will throw that over to Schofield at short. That'll get Whitaker. Schofield will try to make the pivot, but it won't be in time. That'll be a G-force 6 and a fielder's choice. 1 out in the inning. Johnny Grubb now stepping into the batter's box for the Tigers. 245 average, 5 home runs, 25 RBIs in 85. Romanic looking in at Boone for the sign, trying to protect this 1-0 Angels lead. Romanic will set, and he will pitch. That is a 177, and a 177 is going to be a base hit into right field. Evans will hold at second. As suddenly the Tigers have something going on with 1 out. Larry Herndon, now the batter. 244 average, 12 home runs, 37 RBIs in 85. Romanic trying to get out of this inning with no trouble. He will get the sign from Boone. Fans at Tiger Stadium are loud. Romanic will set, and he will pitch. That is a 403. And a 403 is going to be a swing and a miss by Herndon as he goes through the high heat for strike 3, out number 2. Stadium groans. Ugh. That is a huge strikeout by Romanic. 2 outs in the inning. Nobody moves anywhere. Tom Brookins, now the batter. 237 average, 7 home runs, 47 RBIs in 85. Romanic trying to get out of this inning with no damage. He will get the sign from Boone. Romanic will set, and here comes the pitch. That is a 172, and a 172 is going to be a fly ball into left field. Downing will track that one down. He will come in for that one slightly, but he will slow down before long, make the catch, and retire the side. A walk and a hit, but the Tigers get nothing out of it. The Angels now have a 1-0 lead after 2. Stadium groans. Ugh. If you're around for Game 4 on Friday, Game 4 on Friday, the Tigers left 13 runners on base. You are not winning a lot. You're not winning You're not winning a lot of games with leaving that many runs on. As Jimmy Jam now joins us here at Tiger Stadium. Thank you for the kind words on my setup, Jimmy. If you go through just checking my hand, if you go back and watch the AL wildcard game in this replay, I actually take you through my setup in pretty good detail on that, as how I've got everything set up. Top of the third coming up as Petrie finishes up his warm-up tosses. Dick Schofield is now the batter. 219 average, 8 home runs, 41 RBIs in 85. Tigers are not forgetting how Schofield put the Angels on his back in Game 5 against Toronto and got California to this series. They're going to be very careful with Schofield. Schofield actually hit 3 home runs in that Game 5. But we are here in the ALCS, and Dan Petrie is not a Toronto Blue Jay. Petrie will get the sign from Parrish. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is a 471 against a righty at 471. Here comes the pitch from Petrie. Plunk. Ouch. He hits Schofield. And Schofield will go to first as Petrie drills him with the heater. Schofield gets on. Infield goes to double play depth. Batter now is Gritch. Hold it. I just did that on the wrong side again. Batter now is Gritch. Gritch walked his first time up and made it to second on a wild pitch. Petrie knows he can't be spotting these Angels runners. Petrie will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 141, and a 141 is going to be a fly ball into center field. Lemon going back for that one, but he'll have plenty of room before the track to make the catch. That is out number 1. Pettis, now the batter. Pettis is 0 for 1. The Angels are going to try the hit and run again. They do not want to hit into any double plays. Petrie will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 2-11. 2-11 is against a switch left is going to turn into a 4-11. And that's going to be a walk, but Pettis will have 2 strikes on him. He will swing normally once again as the hit and run once again fails. Petrie will pitch again. That is a 593. That'll be into right field for Gibson. And that'll be a fly ball right to him. Gibson will take his time. He'll let that into his glove. 2 outs in the inning. As California cannot get this hit and run going today. Downing, now the batter. Downing popped out his first time up. 1-0 Angels, top of the third. Petrie will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 6:30. And a 6:30 is going to get popped up on the infield. Calling everybody off in the infield grass is going to be Baker. He will make the catch, and that will retire the side. Nothing across except the hit batter for the Angels. California still with a 1-0 lead heading into the bottom of the third. Okay, just checking the hand there. Romanek finishes up his warm-up tosses as Doug Baker now steps into the batter's box for the Tigers. 185 average, no home runs, 1 RBI in 85. And as usual, I will see you two gentlemen at the top of the fourth. Romanek will get the sign from Boone. Angels lead 1-0, series tied at 2. Romanek will set, here's the kick, and here comes the pitch. That is a 298. And against a switch left, a 298. Uh-oh. That's deep into right field, but Baker, with a power of a 0, we'll see what he does with it anyway. Baker's going to get that. That one's going to get down in front of Jackson, and Baker will have a base hit. Infield will go to double play depth. Lemon, now the batter. Lemon tonight is 0 for 1. Romanek will get the sign from Boone. He will set. Here's the kick, and here comes the pitch. That is a 319, and a 319 is going to be a swing and a miss as Lemon's out in front of the changeup for strike 3, out number 1. Batter now is Parrish. Parrish today is 0 for 1. Romanek looking in at Boone for the sign. Fans at Tiger Stadium hoping the Tigers can get something going. Romanek will set, and he will pitch. That is a 550. That's over to third base. That does not sound like getting something going. DeCinces will get that one. He will throw that up to Grich at second. That'll get Baker. Grich will make the turn over to Beniquez at first. That is in time. That is a 5-4-3 inning-ending double play as the Angels go around the horn and get themselves out of trouble. Stadium groans. Ugh. Single for the Tigers, but they can't get anything out of it. California holding on to a 1-0 lead after 3 here at Tiger Stadium. All right. Petrie will get his warm-up tosses in as we're looking at the middle of the order once again for the Angels. Batter now is Jackson. Jackson is 0 for 1. He's been relatively quiet this whole postseason. Petrie will look in at Parrish for the sign. Petrie knows a mistake to Jackson is going to Mars. Petrie will set, and he will pitch. That is a 112. 112 is going to be a ground ball right back to Petrie. He will take his time, throw that over to Evans. 1 out in the inning. Jackson trying to do too much with it. He gets it hard, but right back to Petrie. Jones, now the batter. Jones has the solo home run. That's been our only scoring so far in this game. Petrie will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 438. And ooh, he just missed that. That's a ground ball over to first instead. Evans will take that off. He'll wave off Petrie coming over. 2 outs in the inning. Let me show you just how close this was for Jones. A 437 would have been a home run, but a 438 is grounded over to first. It's hit hard, but it's hit hard, but right to Evans for the second out of the inning. As DeCinces is now the batter. DeCinces flew to right his first time up. The Angels hopefully going to shake that one off. Petrie will get the sign from Parrish. Fans at Tiger Stadium are breathing a huge sigh of relief there. Petrie will set, and he will pitch. That is a 322. And DeCinces gets frozen by a curveball on the inside corner. Strike 3, inning over. 1-2-3 go the Angels here in the top of the fourth. California still stubbornly holding on to a 1-0 lead heading into the bottom of the fourth. Yep. Okay. Leading off for the Tigers as Romanek finishes up his warm-up tosses is Gibson. Gibson today is 0 for 1. We've got a very tight game here, as you would expect with this much on the line. Right now, this series is a best of 3. Romanek will get the sign from Boone. He will set, here's the kick, and here comes the pitch. That is a 538. That sounds like a problem, as that'll be Beniquez. And that'll be a base hit into right field. Gibson could try to stretch that into a double. Right field, Jackson is a 5. They're going to wave Gibson over. Gibson with a speed of 8. He's got to beat a 15 to second. And here comes the throw hard in from Gibson. Close play is very close, but Gibson will end up right. Here comes the tag, just millimeters, but Gibson gets under it before the tag comes on. He is safe at second with a double. Stadium cheers. Yay! Whitaker, now the batter, with Gibson at second. Whitaker walked his first time up. Romanek knows he's got to shake that one off. He will get the sign from Boone. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 532. That's over to first base. That will be Beniquez. That'll be a ground ball right to him. He will take his time, take that to the bag himself. 1 out in the inning. Gibson will go to third. Infield will play in, even though Gibson has got great speed. They're going to need every chance they can get. Batter now is Evans. Evans today is 0 for 1. Gibson is going on contact. Let me check arms anyway, but I'm pretty sure a speed of 8 will beat almost anything. So 5, 3, 2, 4. Yep. Gibson is going on contact. Romanek will get the sign from Boone. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 166. And a 166 is going to be a walk as Romanek loses control of a curveball for ball 4. Evans will go to first. Batter now is Grubb. Grubb today is 1 for 1 with a single. Infield. Infield's going to stay in. Actually, This is a decision for the Angels. They know Gibson's got great speed, and a double play gets them out of the inning. You know what? They're probably not going to be able to get Gibson at the plate anyway with a speed of 8. The Angels are going to play back and try for 2 to try to get out of this inning. It's a risky play, but if you're the Angels, you've got to try to get out of trouble. Even if they're going to concede the run to try to get a double play. Romanic will get the sign from Boone. Fans at Tiger Stadium are loud. Romanic will set, and he will pitch. That is a 5-20, and a 5-20 is Boone. That'll be a called strike 3 on Grubb as he gets frozen by a changeup just low enough in the zone to get the call. 2 outs in the inning. Stadium groans. Ugh. That is a gigantic strikeout for Romanic. 2 outs, and here's Herndon. Herndon is 0 for 1. Romanic knows he's not out of the inning yet. He will get the sign from Boone. He will set, and here comes the pitch. That is a 261, and against a righty at 261, Herndon's into one that is deep to left field. Herndon has got a power of a 6. He would give the Tigers the lead right here. Does he? Herndon got a hold of it, but he is just under it. Getting after that one is Downing. He will be near the track, but he's going to be slow. He's slowing down as he's tracking the ball down. He's at the track, but he will make the catch, and that will retire the side. Wow. No runs and a walk for the Tigers. California still holding a 1-0 lead after 4. Stadium groans. Ugh. They get the lead. Oh, I forgot they got the leadoff double from Gibson as well, along with the walk. But the Tigers still get nothing out of it. And leaving runners on base continues to haunt Detroit in this one. They are already up to, let me see what they're up to in terms of leaving runners on base. Because you are not winning. You're not winning a lot when you leave this many runners on base. The Tigers so far, give me the extended box score. That'll probably tell me. Tigers so far are 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. But it's not going to tell me how many they have left on so far. But the Tigers fans and the bench are not happy at all with how many runners the Tigers are leaving on today. Petrie will finish up his warm-up tosses as Beniquez will step into the batter's box. Beniquez is 0 for 1 today. Petrie knows he's pitching a great game, but his offense is not giving him any help. Petrie will get the sign from Parrish. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is a 291, and against a righty at 291. Beniquez is into one that is deep to left field. Beniquez with a power of a 4. Does he extend this Angels lead? Beniquez got under that one. That'll get into left field, but it's going to die out there as Herndon on his horse. He will track that one down. Fly ball. Herndon's got it. 1 out in the inning. Stadium sighs. Phew. Beniquez got a hold of that one. He got under it just enough, though. Boone, now the batter. Boone is 0 for 1. Petrie trying to hold this game right where it is. He will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 570. That's over to Herndon, and that'll be another fly ball right at him. Herndon coming in for that one. He'll make that catch on the run. 2 outs in the inning. Schofield, now the batter. Schofield was hit by a pitch his first time up. Petrie doing a great job keeping it in the park. Petrie will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 285 against a righty, 285. Uh-oh, Schofield's into one. That is deep to left field. Schofield with a power of a 4. Does this one stay in the park? It'll stay in the park, but it's going to drop in front of Herndon, and that'll be a base hit for Schofield as he'll have a single. 2 outs, and Gritch now the batter. Gritch today is 0 for 1 with a walk. Schofield on first. He will edge off of first, not going anywhere. Petrie will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 584. That's into center field, and Lemon's going to track that one down. He will make the catch on a lazy fly ball. That will retire the side. No runs and a hit for the Angels. California still leading 1-0 at the halfway point heading into the bottom of the 5th. Stadium size. Phew! Romanek finishes up his warm-up tosses as Brookins steps into the batter's box. Brookins is 0 for 1 today. Romanek looking in at Boone for the sign. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is a 523, and Boone, that's going to be a swing and a miss for Brookins as he goes after a splitter out of the zone. Strike 3, out number 1. One out, and now here's Baker. Baker tonight is 1 for 1. He's got a single. Romanek looking in at Boone for the sign. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is a 264 against a switch left, 264. Uh-oh. Baker's into one, but he's got a power of a 0. What can he do with this pitch? That'll get down for Baker, and that'll be a base hit into right field. Not very hard hit, but it's almost like a bloop single. Infield to go to double play depth. Lemon, now the batter. Lemon today is 0 for 2. Romanek looking in at Boone for the sign. Lemon's got good power. He's going to swing away. Romanek will set, and he will pitch. That is a 282, and that sounds like a problem. 282, uh-oh. Lemon's into one. That is deep to left field. Lemon with a power of a 7, though. This would give the Tigers the lead. Where's that? 3 and an 8. And that will give the Tigers the lead with a boom! That ball is hit high. That ball is hit deep to left field. Downing on his horse for that one. He's back to the track, back to the wall, and that ball is gone. Home run, Chet Lemon. Tigers take the lead. 2-1, Tigers. Stadium cheers. Yay! Parrish, now the batter. Parrish today is 0 for 2. Romanek knows he's got to shake that one off instantly. Romanek will get the sign from Boone. He will set. Here's the windup. And here comes the pitch. That is a 101, and that'll be a fly ball into left field. Back for that one is Downing. This time it'll stay in the park. He will track it down. 2 outs in the inning. Batter now is the ever-dangerous Gibson. Gibson today is 1 for 2. He's got a double. Romanek looking in at Boone for the sign. Tigers now with a 2-1 lead. Romanek will set, and he will pitch. That is a 443. A 443 against the righty. Gibson will have a base hit into center field. He is not going to try to extend that with 2 outs in the inning. Earlier in the inning, he'd think about it, but not now. 2 outs, and Whitaker now the batter. Whitaker today is 0 for 1 with a walk. Tiger Stadium now coming alive. Romanek will get the sign from Boone. He will set, and here comes the pitch. That is a 131, and that'll be a ground ball right back to first. Picking that up is Benitez. Romanek will come over to cover. He will take the throw, and that will retire the side. 2 runs on 2 hits and a walk. The Tigers now have a 2-1 lead after 5. We've got a pitcher's duel in this one where you have to expect runs to be at a premium in this game. Petrie finishes up his warm-up tosses as Pettis steps into the batter's box. Pettis today is 0 for 2. Okay, just checking on a couple things. Okay. Petrie will get the sign from Parrish. 2-1 Tigers, top of the 6th. Petrie will set, and he will pitch. That is a 473 against the righty. 473. Pettis is going to get a hold of one. That'll get all the way to the wall. It'll be a long time coming, but Pettis will be at third base with a lead-off triple. Wow. The infield is going to play in. Batter now is Downing. Downing's 0 for 2. Pettis is most likely going on contact with a speed of a 7. Let me look here. 2-2-2-0. Yep. Pettis is going on contact. Petrie will get the sign from Parrish. Fans at Tiger Stadium are nervous. Petrie will set, and he will pitch. That is a 102. That'll turn into a 302. And Downing gets frozen by a changeup for strike 3. That is out number 1. One out in the inning, and the batter now is Jackson. Jackson is 0 for 2. Pettis is still going on contact. Petrie will get the sign from Parrish. Fans at Tiger Stadium are loud. Petrie will set, and he will pitch. That is a 677. And a 677 is going to be a wild pitch, and that will tie the game. As Petrie is going to uncork a wild one, Pettis will score. We are tied at 2 at Tiger Stadium. Stadium groans. Ugh. That is also ball 1. We will pitch again. That is a 358. And a 358 is going to be a called strike 3 on Jackson as he'll get frozen by a slider for strike 3. Out number 2. Two outs in the inning. Batter now is Jones. Jones had a solo bomb back in the second. All of a sudden, we are tied at 2 here in the top of the 6th. Petrie will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 348. And a 348 is going to be a called strike 3 on Jones as he gets frozen by a slider. That will retire the side. But the Angels tie the game with a triple and with 1 run, 1 hit, and a wild pitch. The triple by Pettis and then the wild pitch to bring him in. We are tied at 2 at Tiger Stadium, heading into the bottom of the 6th. Okay. Romanek finishes up his warm-up tosses as leading off for the Tigers is Evans. Evans today is 0 for 1 with a walk. We are probably in for a dramatic ending in this game. Ramonic will get the sign from Boone. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is a 462. And against a righty of 462, Evans is going to get a hold of one. That'll be a base hit into center field. Evans, Pettis is an arm of 6. Evans will stay put. That'll also be the first point of pitcher fatigue against Ramonic. I will get the spin down for that momentarily here. Batter now is Grubb. Grubb today is 1 for 2. He's got a single. Infield is at double play depth, and we're going to get some activity in the Angels bullpen. Let's see where the Angels are going to start getting loose. The Angels, let's see, righty, switch. The Angels are going to get Jim Slayton warming up in the bullpen. The Angels definitely want to stop this carnage. Ramonic will get the sign from Boone. He will set. Here's the kick, and here comes the pitch. That is a 669. That'll turn into a 689. And that's going to be a base hit for Grubb. He will get on with a single. I believe that's a 1B star or 1B++ should send Evans to third. And now the Tigers have something going on with 1 out in the inning. Yep. Batter now is Herndon. Herndon today is 0 for 2, but that'll bring the infield in. And that's going to be it for Ramonic. He's going to come out of the game. Coming in to pitch for the Angels, in quite the perilous situation for California right now, Ramonic could end up on the hook for the loss if Evans and Grubb score. Coming in to pitch for the Angels is going to be Jim Slayton, 6-10 with a 4.37 ERA, 148 and a third innings pitched, 60 strikeouts, 63 walks, 22 home runs in 85. He comes in the bottom of the 6th with nobody out. We're also going to get some activity in the Tigers bullpen, as getting loose for the Tigers is going to be, let's see, righties all around. Juan Berenger is going to start getting loose in the Tigers bullpen. Infield is in. Evans is not going on contact. Slayton will get the sign from Boone. Fans at Tiger Stadium are loud. Slayton will set, and he will pitch. That is a 554. That's over to third base. That is going to be DeCinces, 554. That'll be a ground ball to DeCinces, but the throw has to come to the plate. Evans has to beat a 13 to the plate. Can he? This would give the Tigers the lead. Here comes the throw from DeCinces. It is in plenty of time. Evans is tagged out for the first out of the inning. Stadium groans. Ugh. As Evans can't tie the game. I think I had him not going on contact, but I guess I changed my mind there and kind of froze on that. 1 out in the inning. Infield is at double play depth. We'll go with it. I'm not going to re-roll the at-bat. Batter now is Brookins. Brookins today is 0 for 2. Grubb waiting at second. Herndon at first. Slayton will get the sign from Boone. Fans at Tiger Stadium are loud. Slayton will set, and he will pitch. That is a 524. That's over to Boone. And that's going to be a called strike 3 on Brookins. He gets frozen by a changeup for strike 3. Out number 2. Actually, wait a second. Oh, never mind. My notation was a little bit screwed up. But I got it all straight. 2 outs in the inning. And the batter now is Baker. Baker today is 2 for 2 with 2 singles. Grubb waits with a go-ahead run at second base. Herndon behind him at first. Slayton will get the sign from Boone. Tiger Stadium is loud. Slayton will set, and he will pitch. With a 457 against a righty, 457 is going to be a swing and a miss by Baker as he gets in front of a changeup for strike 3, inning over. No runs on 2 hits for the Tigers. We remain tied at 2 after 6. Stadium groans. Ugh. As you would expect in a game for a series that's tied, it is very tight here as we get into the later innings. Leading off for the Angels, after Petrie finishes up his warm-up tosses, he will start the 7th. DeCinces is now the batter. DeCinces is 0 for 2 today. Petrie knows he needs to hold this game right where it is. He will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and here comes the pitch. That is a 4-12, and a 4-12 against a righty is going to be a ground ball over to short. Baker will grab that one, take his time, throw that over to first, out number 1. One out, and here's Beniquez. Beniquez is 0 for 2. Petrie turning in a great performance today, even despite the tied score. Petrie will get the sign from from Parrish. He will set, and here comes the pitch. That is a 193, and a 193 is going to be a fly ball into left field. Herndon tracking that one down. He will make the catch, 2 outs in the inning. Batter now is Boone. Boone is 0 for 2 tonight. Petrie looking in at Parrish for the sign. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is a 698, and a 698 is going to be a 2-out walk for Boone. Also, the first point of pitcher fatigue on Petrie. I'll get the spin down for that. As the batter now is Schofield. Schofield today is 1 for 1 with a single, and he's been hit by a pitch. A 2-out walk for Boone. Petrie will get the sign from Parrish. Fans at Tiger Stadium are loud, hoping Petrie can get out of the inning. Petrie will set, and he will pitch. That is a 3-10, and Schofield's going to get frozen by a slider for strike 3, inning over. A 2-out walk, but the Angels aren't able to do anything with it. We are tied at 2 at Tiger Stadium as we get set for the 7th inning stretch. Sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." I will take a small break. Once the LCS round is over, we will find out what these are for on the Summer 2025 Project Selection Show. That will be after the LCS round is over, but before that, tomorrow night, we will be at Anaheim Stadium for Game 6 of this American League Championship Series, as the series will flip back to California being the home team. Walt Terrell will be going for the Tigers, and Don Sutton will be going for the Angels. The only question we have to answer yet is which team will be trying to close out the series. We have plenty of baseball to go as we are in the bottom of the 7th. And the Tigers are back to the top of the order. Here's Lemon. Lemon today is 1 for 2 with a 2-run home run. Yep, 2-run home run. Okay. Slayton looking in at Boone for the sign. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is a 596. That sounds like a problem. That's into right field. Jackson, and that's going to drop behind Jackson. That'll get to the wall. Lemon will be safe at second with a leadoff double. Lemon will go to second, and the batter now is Parrish. That brought Tiger Stadium alive. Parrish is 0 for 3, though. Slayton trying to keep this game right where it is. He will get the sign from Boone. He will set, and he will pitch. That is that's a 659, actually. 659 is going to be a ground ball over to short. Grabbing that is going to be Schofield. He will throw that over first for the out. Lemon will go to third. And that'll bring the infield in, as the batter now is Gibson. Gibson today is 2 for 3. He's got a single and a double. Lemon with a speed of 2 is probably going on contact. Let's see, 5-arm, 3, 2, 4. Yep. Even with very good arms on the California infield, Lemon is going on contact. Slayton will get the sign from Boone. Tied at 2, bottom of the 7th. Lemon is at third. Slayton will set, and he will pitch. That is a 408, and a 408 against a righty. That is going to be a walk, as Gibson will trot to first after Slayton loses control of a slider coming in. Batter now is Whitaker. Whitaker today is 0 for 2 with a walk. Infield is going to stay in. Lemon remains going on contact. Slayton will get the sign from Boone. Fans at Tiger Stadium are loud once again. Slayton will set. Here's the kick, and here comes the pitch. That is a 617. And a 617 is going to be a swing and a miss by Whitaker. He gets fooled by a changeup for strike 3. That is out number 2. Stadium groans. Ugh. Evans is now the batter. Evans tonight is 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. Tiger Stadium is loud, hoping Evans can get Lemon home with the go-ahead run. Slayton will get the sign from Boone. He will set. Here's the kick, and here comes the pitch. That is a 552. That's over to DeCinces at third base. And a 552 is going to be a ground ball right to him. He will throw that up to Grich at second. That'll get Gibson, and that will retire the side. Stadium groans. Ugh. A hit and a walk, but the Tigers don't do anything with it. We remain tied at 2 here at Tiger Stadium, heading after 7. Petrie is going to come out of the game. He has done quite the job today, but the Tigers are going to go to the bullpen. And coming in to pitch for the Tigers today just waiting for Digital Diamond to cooperate here. Coming in to pitch for the Tigers is going to be Juan Berenger. 5-6 with a 5.59 ERA. 95 innings pitched, 82 strikeouts, 48 walks, 12 home runs, and 85. First batter he's facing is Gritch. Gritch today is 0 for 2 with a walk, and he advanced on a wild pitch. Behringer looking in at Parrish for the sign. Tiger Stadium hoping Behringer can settle it and keep this right where it is. Behringer will set, and he will pitch. That is a 409, and against a righty, Gritch is going to go to first with a leadoff walk. Tigers infield will go to double play depth. Batter is Pettis. Pettis today is 1 for 3 with a triple, and he scored on a wild pitch. The Angels are going to try the hit and run again, even though it hasn't worked yet today. Behringer will get the sign from Parrish. He will set. Here's the kick, and here comes the pitch. That is a 695. And a 695, ooh, that actually helps the Tigers out because that would be a walk with the infield in. That would be a walk, but because the hit and run was on, 2 strikes on Pettis. Hit and run is now called off as Pettis just cannot get that hit and run going. Pettis will pitch. Here comes the pitch from Behringer. That is a 573 into left field. Back for that is Herndon, and that'll be a routine fly ball. Herndon will track that down. He'll make the catch, out number 1. The Tigers are doing a great job defending against that hit and run today. 1 out in the inning, and here's Downing. Downing today is 0 for 3. Gritch edging off of first. Behringer casts a look to him. Gritch not going anywhere. Behringer will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, he will kick, and here comes the pitch. That is a 486 against a righty. 486 is going to be a fly ball into center field. Back for that one is Lemon. He will make the catch. 2 outs in the inning. Batter now is Jackson. Jackson today is 0 for 3. We're going to get some activity in the Angels bullpen as starting to get loose for California is going to be, let's see, lefty, righty, righty. Lefty, righty, righty, huh? The Angels are going to get, they're going to get Stu Clyburn warming up in the bullpen. Gritch still at first as Jackson takes his practice cuts. Behringer will look in at Parrish for the sign. Fans at Tiger Stadium are loud. Behringer will set, and he will pitch. That is a 367, and a 367 is going to be a swing and a miss for Jackson. Strike 3 on the outside corner. That will retire the side. A leadoff walk comes to nothing for the Angels. We are still tied at 2, heading into the bottom of the 8th. Slayton will come out to pitch the bottom of the 8th. Will come out to start the bottom of the 8th. He is at his fatigue inning, though. Leading off for the Tigers is Grubb. Grubb today is 2 for 3 with 2 singles. Slayton will get the sign from Boone. He will set. Here's the kick, and here comes the pitch. That is a 396. 396. That'll be a base hit for Grubb. He will get on with a leadoff single. First point of fatigue against Slayton. Infield will go to double play depth. Batter now is Herndon. Herndon today is 0 for 3. Grubb edging off of second. He's not going anywhere. Slayton will get the sign from Boone. He will set. Here's the kick. And here comes the pitch. That is a 281. And against a righty, 281. Herndon's into one. That's deep to left field. Herndon with a power of a 6. Does this give the Tigers the lead? That will give the Tigers the lead with a boom! That ball is hit high! That ball is hit deep to left field. Downing is back for that one. He is back to the track, back to the wall. That ball is gone! Home run, Larry Herndon. Tigers take the lead 4-2. Stadium cheers. Yay! Brookins, now the batter. Brookins tonight is 0 for 3, but that is going to be it for Slayton. The Angels are going to go to the bullpen. And coming in to pitch for the Angels, once Digital Diamond decides it wants to cooperate with me, come on, is going to be Stu Clyburn, 9-3 with a 2.09 ERA, 99 innings pitched, 48 strikeouts, 26 walks, 5 home runs, and 85. Tigers are going to get some activity in their bullpen as well, as they want no funny business at this point. The Tigers are going to Willie Hernandez. The Tigers want the 3-2 lead in this series. Brookins will take his warm-up cuts as Clyburn gets set to go. Clyburn will get the sign from Boone. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 232 against a righty. 232 is going to be a ground ball over to third. DeCinces will grab that one. He will throw that across the diamond. 1 out in the inning. The infield would have been back. I forgot to just adjust that. Batter now is Baker. Baker's 2 for 3 with 2 singles. Tigers now with a 4-2 lead. Clyburn trying to keep that right where it is. He will get the sign from Boone. Tiger Stadium is loud. Clyburn will set, and he will pitch. With a 349, and a 349 is going to be a swing and a miss by Baker as he gets in front of a slider for strike 3. That is out number 2. Lemon, now the batter. Lemon today is 2 for 4. He's got a double and a home run. Clyburn looking in at Boone for the sign. He will set. Here's the kick. And here comes the pitch. That is a 345, and that'll be a fly ball into right field. Jackson making that catch on the run, but he will get it, and that will retire the side. 2 runs on 2 hits. A 2-run blast by Larry Herndon makes this 4-2 Tigers after 8. But will we see some 9th inning magic? The Tigers do not want any funny business in this one, so Behringer is going to come out of the game. The Tigers are going to go to the bullpen, and to try to slam the door, the Tigers are going to turn to their closer, once Digital Diamond decides it wants to cooperate with me. The Tigers are going to go to one Willie Hernandez, 8-10 with 31 saves, a 2.70 ERA. 106 2/3 innings pitched, 76 strikeouts, 14 walks, 13 home runs, and 85. Leading off the top of the 9th is Jones. Jones today is 1 for 3, but that one was a solo home run. Tiger Stadium is loud. Detroit 3 outs away from a 3-2 series lead going back to California. Hernandez will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and here comes the pitch. That is a 272 against a lefty. Uh-oh. Jones is into one. That is deep to left field. Jones with a power of a 9. Does he cut this Angels deficit in half? Jones gets into that one, but it's gonna be just under it, just enough. Gibson will track that one down, by the skin of his teeth. He's back to the wall, and he's going to make a leaping catch. 1 out in the inning. That robs Jones of a home run. Stadium cheers. Yay! Very close play, though. Here's DeCinces. DeCinces today is 0 for 3. Hernandez, fist pumping his fist. Very happy and relieved that Gibson got that one. Hernandez will get the sign from Parrish. He will set, and here comes the pitch. That is a 153. And a 153 is going to be a swing and a miss for DeCinces as he misses the heat for strike 3. That is out number 2. And the last chance for the Angels comes to Juan Beniquez. Beniquez is 0 for 3 tonight. Tiger Stadium, loud. Hernandez gets this out. Tigers take a 3-2 lead back to California. Beniquez gets on. Boone will continue the inning. Hernandez looking in at Parrish for the sign. Tiger Stadium is loud. Hernandez will set. Here comes the pitch. That is a 358. And a 358 is going to be a ground ball over to third. Grabbing that is Brookins. He will take his time. Pumps once. Pumps twice. Pumps 3 times. Throws to first. That's your game. The California Angels cannot muster 9th inning magic as the Detroit Tigers will take this one by a final score of 4-2. That will also give the Tigers a 3-2 lead in the series. Stadium cheers. Yay! Final line score coming up. I'm just waiting for Digital Diamond to catch up with me so I can get into the box score. For the Tigers, 4 runs on 11 hits and no errors. For the Angels, 2 runs on 3 hits and no errors. Winning pitcher today is going to be Juan Berenger. He will take the win. Jim Slayton will take a tough loss for the Angels, and Willie Hernandez will get the save. Tigers left another 9 runners on base. They need to get that cleaned up and quickly. Otherwise, that could come back to haunt them in game if the series goes further. But that will do it for Game 6 of the American League Championship Series for 1985. I will be around later tonight. I've got a few product unboxings I need to catch up on some new games that have come into the collection. I just haven't had a chance to unbox them yet. Tomorrow night, though, we will be back to business as we've got Game 6 of the American League Championship Series. We are shifting back to Anaheim, where the Tigers will have a chance to close the Angels out. In order to try to do that, the Tigers are going to send Walt Terrell to the mound. To counter, the Angels will be putting Don Sutton on the mound. Wednesday, we're going to be playing Star Wars Force and Destiny by Edge Studios. And then we'll have the Summer 2025 Project Selection Show. I'm expecting that to be this week. It'll be Thursday if the Tigers win tomorrow night. The 2025 Project Selection Show will be Thursday because I want to give myself a breather on Tuesday. If we go to Game 7 will be Thursday, and then the 2025 Project Selection Show will be Friday. Either way, Saturday Mystical Munchies will finish out of the Dungeons & Dragons Flavors of the Multiverse cookbook as we make the drink, Erlenmeyer's Dragonfire Punch. Next week, we'll be playing game number 6 on my War Room list as we play Twilight 2000 by Free League Publishing. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care, everyone. The Detroit Tigers take advantage of a clutch 2-run home run by Larry Herndon in the bottom of the 8th inning to take Game 5 4-2 and take a 3-2 series lead. Once again, take care, and I will see you guys tomorrow night.